In this tutorial, we will be using custom avatars for body tracking in Unreal Engine. We know that this is a very frequently requested tutorial, so we'd love to show you some ways of getting body tracking on these custom avatars. Welcome to today's VTuber Open Q&A session. Today we have something really exciting. I've just created this new tutorial on how to use custom Mixamo avatars for full body tracking via Media Pipe and XR Animator. So we'll be talking through some of the processes for this, but if you want to just skip directly to the video, that's completely fine. It's a very simple tutorial to follow, and I've already created different free assets for you to use in your streams. So I'm just going to stop playing this for a while and move towards Unreal Engine. So before I do that, if you click on Offworld Live, you'll see different playlists, and the custom avatar is the last. So you will be able to use custom Mixamo avatars for full body tracking. And again, free tutorial resources and assets are already uploaded in the Google Drive over here. So for this tutorial, you will need the Mixamo VMC and MBPU asset. So feel free to download this and drag this into your project's content folder, but inside Windows Explorer instead of Content Browser. So I'm going to show you super quickly how I did that. So I've downloaded this asset and dragged it into the content folder of VTuber tutorial Unreal project. So now it's over here at Mixamo, VMC and MBP. So now I can open up Unreal Engine, and this is where we left off last time, or a couple times before. We were looking at a few different things. We were looking at this free plugin. Using Media Pipe directly inside Unreal Engine, but the stream before, we were talking about using custom avatars, custom DAS avatars for full body tracking. And so again, today we will be looking at another skeleton or another type of rig, which is Mixamo. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to go on Mixamo and look for a couple of characters I liked. And I've basically gone to different characters over here so that they're already rigged, and clicked on a few of them and downloaded them. So when you hit download, make sure to choose the FBX format, of course, but also make sure that they are T-pose. If you followed the streams from 2 weeks ago, you will realize that we had to do this control rig in the most manual way, and it wasn't fun at all. But what we need to do is basically click on the T-pose and download that. And with that, XR Animator is also streaming from a T-pose, so we don't need to do any solving to fix this. So once you've downloaded and collected a few skeletons, a few kind of like rigged characters, for example, I might actually go for Mousy, because it'll be quite fun. And I'm going to download this character and T-pose. So what I've also done is I've duplicated the map, so that I'm currently working off of starter content maps. I've duplicated the minimum default map into a Mixamo map, and in here I've already imported a few skeletons. But just to start again, we will need to create a new folder for any new characters. So this is Mixamo Avatar 5 already. And I'm going to drag in Mousy into here. Really excited for this Mousy because it's got different body proportions. Very curious to see what it would look like. And I've mentioned this in the tutorial, but if you're importing the same skeleton, you will need to follow the same the skeleton on first import. So let's say you're importing 4 individual Mixamo characters, but because they all share the Mixamo rig, you can just choose the first rig, the first skeleton that was generated, so that they will be assigned to the same skeleton. This is a super important bit, so don't forget to check that. So the first one I've imported is CH46, and Mixamo doesn't have morph targets, but if you go ahead in Blender and create new blend shapes for face tracking, then you will need to check import morph targets. So again, we've got Mousy, really, really cute. And one thing you'll need to do when you go to, because we've downloaded the Google, from Google Drive, the Mixamo VMC and MVP. What we need to do now is, and it's already dragged into a content folder. So you should see this already, Mixamo VMC and MVP. When you first open this, we'll need to go to class settings. Under class settings in the top bar, make sure that under target skeleton, the same rig is selected. So CH46 non-PBR skeleton. After you select the right Mixamo skeleton, has to be Mixamo skeleton, then you'll need to compile and save. And then you can basically apply this to any skeletal mesh that shares the same skeleton. So we've got Mousy. I'm going to bring Mousy in here. I'm going to rotate 90 degrees. In Mousy, we'll be using the animation blueprint, but Mixamo VMC and MVP. And that should be assigned because it shares the same skeleton. Super, super convenient. So now, if you follow the rest of the tutorial, you will have to drag in 2 VMC receivers and a VMC tick. Each VMC receiver has a different port. So the first one is 39539, and the second receiver is 39540. Then I'm going to hit up XR Animator and start. So I'm really hoping, yeah, so I'm gonna stop and find camera. Now I've got the full body mocap initialized. Again, there's no need for face because this character doesn't have facial blend shapes. We can just wait a second here. Nice. So that's all good, and my body's already tracking, so that's super convenient. I'm gonna go ahead and click on VMC receiver and server listen. Oh, so one thing I forgot to add that's quite important is the live link skeletal animation. This allows us to see skeletal animation inside editor, so we'll update animation really quickly. And now Mousy is tracking. What this looks like is this. It's funny because Mousy has only 4 fingers, I think. So I think it doesn't have a pinky, but yeah, very cute. It's toggleable. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to move around. And that was a really, really quick way to get full body tracking on Mixamo characters. If you're creating blend shapes on Blender, I would really I would really recommend using LiveLink instead, because obviously we're not getting the same type of fidelity as we are with post tracking. What we're only streaming is rotation of the joints. So something like that would be very fun, to combine LiveLink of the face and using webcam for body tracking. But yeah, that was a really short tutorial, but hope that will be useful. And if you have any questions or any successes with this, please feel free to share your results on Discord. So again, this is the NMDP that should work for every Mixamo skeleton if you go into class settings and make sure that that is the same as your imported skeleton. And then it should compile perfectly. I can also share the one on DAZ from 2 weeks ago, so that will be also available for downloads. But again, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great week.